like this is going to be tougher than we thought.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay, we are back for episode 4 of the podcast. This is a very special week.
Very special week.
Super special. This is the Broly episode. We just saw Dragon Ball Super Broly this past weekend, and we could not wait to record all week so we can go over how great this movie is. As you know, this is Mike. And then I'm joined by my co-host Anae.
What's up, y'all?
And then this week we have our very first guest of the podcast.
Special guest.
TJ.
What's
going on?
My nigga, yes. So yeah, he's gonna be joining us. He saw the movie with us, so yeah, we had to have him come through and pull up so we could go over everything. That Dragon Ball Super Broly was probably the best anime I've ever seen on screen. Like I can't go hard enough for Dragon Ball Super Broly. They took the character that we been knowing from the longest, long time Dragon Ball Z fans been knew about Broly, and they made him so much better than what he was previously.
Made him canon, so.
Yeah, being canon, being designed by Toriyama. It made a hell of a difference because it was night and day.
Well,
and
you guys said the storyline just in general were
excellent,
amazing.
And so I think what we're gonna do on this episode, we'll kind of like run through. If you haven't seen it at this point, that's your fault.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It's been out. It's been out since the 16th. Today's the 24th. Yeah, it's been out for a minute. So yeah, but yeah, we're gonna run through it from start to finish and give our takes on everything and and tell you how much we enjoyed it because we definitely about to stand real quick. Nate hasn't seen all of Super just yet, but she rode with us to see the movie. Nate, how did you feel about Super Broly?
So, firstly, at the end, I was trying not to show my excitement. I think all of us were trying not to show our excitement, and I really wanted to stand up and clap, but I didn't want everybody to be like, "This bitch tripping." But it was really good. The storyline, I wasn't familiar with Broly, and in previous podcasts, we've mentioned Dragon Ball Z, Super, all of that, and like I said, growing up, I watched Dragon Ball Z, not in depth. I would watch episodes. I was familiar with the majority of the main characters, protagonists, antagonists, and stuff like that, but not to the depth of how TJ and Mike watch Super. So going to see the movie, I kind of didn't know what to expect because, like I said, I wasn't that familiar with Broly. But the storyline, I know we'll talk about this a little bit. The graphics and the animation was really, really good. It touched on some stuff that I kind of didn't know as far as how Broly got sent away from planet Vegeta.
Yes.
I didn't really know the backstory with that. I could talk all day. I didn't like his girl. I ain't gonna lie to you. The little girl that tried to, she fucked everything up.
Yeah, Nay's referring to the member of the Frieza Force that discovered Broly and his dad Paragus on planet Vampa, who they were stranded there. So basically the way the movie starts off is you see planet Vegeta and you see all the Saiyans living there. This is kind of the first time you see the life on planet Vegeta, before it was destroyed, and you kind of see how Saiyans interacted with each other on a day-to-day basis. Them being a warrior race, you didn't see the more human side, even though they're aliens, the more human side of the Saiyans and how they went on a day-to-day basis. So I thought that was pretty dope. And then this is the first time I believe that we see Goku's mother ever on screen.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean that was pretty dope. Her name was Gine, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because I was like, all right.
I think she was like introduced in like Dragon Ball Minus. Not too sure on that, but that
Maybe.
was more of a manga. So first time on screen for sure for me.
Mm-hmm.
First time I saw it.
Yeah, oh man, it was sad, kind of seeing how that played out. His dad was very proactive though.
Yeah.
I wonder, did you have a feeling that he was like the Super Saiyan that was in the legend? Like, I know because he was telling his wife, girl, whatever you want to call him, baby mama. This is the first time I've ever thought about somebody like outside of myself, fighting and all this, but like, yeah, and like this is something that I care about. I wonder if he had a feeling that Goku would be that nigga eventually, or he just really, his parents. It was hard. Man, that nigga's a ho, bro.
Who?
Frieza.
Oh yeah, Frieza. Yeah. So yeah, basically, you see how that life goes, and Frieza and the Frieza Force pull up on planet Vegeta, and it was kind of dope because this is the first time we've seen Frieza, King Cold, the Ginyu Force, Zarbon. They're all there.
Like all in one.
Yeah, all at once.
So that's the first time that they've been like
nostalgic right there.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, you remember in the beginning of the movie that little group of the Frieza Force, and they did that little weird ass pose. Yeah, that's the Ginyu Force.
Okay,
and so they were kind of crucial in the Planet Namek arc in Dragon Ball Z. When we first meet Frieza, so it was kind of dope seeing them. They didn't have to talk or nothing like that, but we saw them. Yeah, a little cameo. Yeah, they've been like that.
Silly ass poses when them niggas had to fuse together.
Oh, we definitely gonna get there. Yeah, we gonna definitely get to that fusion. Yeah, because that was the first time that was canon. But yeah, we'll get to that part. But yeah, that was pretty dope seeing them all together. Zarbon, the Frieza Force, the Ginyu Force. The main ones from there that we know from Dragon Ball Z, who all died, of course, on Namek. And then so we see them pull up on Planet Namek, and King Cold addresses King Vegeta, and the off the rip, Vegeta tried to shake King Cold's hand, and he looked at that nigga like he was less than nothing. Like, you disgust me. He's like, bro, you're not touching my hand.
Yeah, he did give him.
Yeah, he gave him the hardest side eye. Like, yeah, I'm not shaking your hand, bro. And that's how you kind of see like that kind of Frieza race superiority that they have, and they look, beneath the Saiyans. And so King Cold pretty much pulled up and was like, yeah, hey, I'm retiring. But my son Frieza is gonna be handling, everything from here on out, effective immediately. Just so y'all know, he's a worse nigga than I am.
Yeah, he showed it like right then.
He did.
So yeah, and it was kind of dope because they introduced, if you're familiar with Dragon Ball Z, they introduced the Scouters and how they kind of came apart. And so Frieza puts on the Scouter and was like, oh yeah, well, I see there's Saiyans in these buildings with power levels over whatever 1,000, whatever it is, and he just straight up kills them. He just shoots the buildings and kills them immediately. Like, yeah, I don't care, there's not gonna be any strong Saiyans around here, and kills them, immediately. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, fuck them niggas. Like, he's a whole. So you could tell from the rip that Frieza wasn't fucking with Saiyans at all. Like, his daddy was kind of like, yeah, I don't really fuck with y'all niggas, but y'all do what y'all do, and y'all are, I guess y'all serve under me. But Frieza was like, I'd rather not even deal with you niggas ever
at all.
Yeah,
that's how he came off.
He feared that legendary Super Saiyan.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's power hungry.
Yeah, no, he was crazy power hungry, even as young Frieza, and so we see that interaction between them, and they leave, and continue what you're doing, but Frieza's running the show now. And then King Vegeta, I think the next scene is they cut to King Vegeta's chamber, where they show all the babies with that are in their birth pods basically. And so he shows Prince Vegeta, who we all know, of course, and you know he was going on about how high his power level is and how high his potential is, and then we see Broly as a baby who's in his pod as well, and King Vegeta's like, hey, why is this nigga near my son? Like, why is he up here? And this is a low cat ass saying, and so what King Vegeta's scientists were trying to tell him was like, hey, this kid, you know, his potential is like off the charts. Like he blew up our scouters type shit, and King Vegeta wasn't trying to hear that shit at all.
Wasn't having it.
He was not having it. He's like, no, keep him away from my son. I don't care what his power level is. Y'all's machine is broke. He was trying to make up every excuse in the book for to keep Broly. You know, like Broly's not that nigga. It's my son is that nigga. Yeah. And so they show that whole interaction, and we kind of know then, like, hey, Broly is a different nigga. Like, he, even as a kid, like, I think they showed Broly's power level as a kid was already at like 10,000, which is higher than most.
Something crazy.
Yeah, higher than most regular warriors. Because I want to say, if you think about it, bro, like in Dragon Ball Z, remember the famous phrase of Dragon Ball Z was, "Oh, he's over 9,000." If he was a baby and he was like at 10,000. So that goes to show like how powerful he was as a baby, which was kind of dope. And they go from there, and then what happened next after that? And
that's when he called in Broly's pops.
Paragus.
Yeah. Okay. Boy. To kind of backtrack just a little bit, since we're talking about power levels, when Goku or Kakarot's parents, you know, when he first came back, when Frieza, well, I guess I guess technically I'm getting ahead of myself, because that really was in the future. Goku's shit was real low. Yeah. Because that's what he said. He's like, oh, he kind of weak.
They looked at Goku like a low level Saiyan in a sense, like he
low class warrior.
Yeah, which is why I guess
he was still in this chamber and he was old as hell.
Yeah, he was small too.
Exactly.
Or something.
Yep.
So, but
yeah, he wasn't like ever supposed to be who he is. Yeah. And so Goku, you know, jumping to the future, Goku got to where he is off the rip from training and working hard.
Okay.
And I read something kind of off subject. I read something that they said that Goku is one of the few Saiyans that are able to reach Super Saiyan. Like, not every Saiyan is supposedly supposed to be able to reach Super Saiyan. You got to have a certain level of S cells. I think that's what they call them, S cells, and that allows the transformation to happen, having a certain amount of them. So not every Saiyan supposedly is not supposed to be able to reach Super Saiyan. Only certain ones. So you got to have a certain amount. Yeah, I read that. I'll send you the link, TJ. But that was like directly from Toriyama. Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah, so yeah.
Them niggas get HIV, they S cells.
I'm fucking done.
And then can't do Super Saiyan no more.
I am done. I don't even want to think about STDs on Planet Vegeta.
My bad.
I'm fucking done.
It just went. Yeah. My bad.
But that was something dope I read about that. Next part. So you kind of, so Paragus storms into, you know, King Vegeta's I guess throne room or whatever, was like, hey, you know, my son's gonna be this and that, and he was like, yeah, your son's too dangerous. That level of power that he has is, you know, too dangerous to the point where it's gonna make him mad and insane, and it's gonna drive him crazy, and you know, we can't do nothing with it. So we're gonna go ahead and ship him off to this planet to see if he can survive and go from there. But when in reality, the planet that he shipped him to, it was supposed to be uninhabitable, and basically, you know, he sent him on a suicide ride, basically.
A one-way mission.
Yeah, like, you know, he wasn't supposed to survive on this planet, it's basically. So, Paragus was basically, you know, arguing like, hey, you know what, you know, I need, you know, my son, I can take care of my son, I can train him, I can do this and that. He was like, all right, well, you know, you can take care of your son, but just so you know, I shipped him off to Planet Vampa 15 minutes before you even came in here. So Paragus is like, oh shit. So he jumps out the window and jumps and steals a spacecraft and flies off and tries to get Broly from the new planet, from Planet Vampa.
He steals the space pod with a nigga in there.
Yeah, with another thing in there. Yeah.
Just went along with it, like, all right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do at that point?
I have no clue about.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it back.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, R.I.P.
Yeah.
to that dude.
I mean, well, yeah. So they both. I mean, they get to the planet and they find Broly basically, and Broly's already killed one of these little monsters that are on this planet and is eating that nigga. I mean, that's how raw Broly is. He's a little. I don't know if he was a baby or he was just a little kid, but he was eating.
His father said when he got there that his clothes were stretched, like he probably went great.
Yeah, he did go great ape. Yeah, and that's how he. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Or bugs.
Yeah. I don't know what them things were ugly as hell.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, so he transformed, which we don't see, but he apparently transformed and went great ape and survived because I think he was there for already like a day by the time that
already at the pod, just survival at that point.
Yep. But that was really dope scene. You could already tell Broly was a different animal from the start. I think after that part, they actually showed.
They showed Vegeta like kind of out the pod and away from King Vegeta. That's the planet.
Because that's when they find out that that Frieza went back.
Yeah.
And blew the planet.
Yeah, Frieza being a whole ass nigga like he is.
Yeah.
Called all the Saiyans to come back to King Vegeta to the planet, so he can just blow them all up at one time. But Vegeta being Vegeta. Defiant, he's like, I ain't going back. Basically,
right. A few of them, he thought he got them all, but it was niggas that
stayed behind. So that's kind of Vegeta's like kind of backstory on how he was not on the planet when it just was.
And was that something that had ever been notated or seen before, like in any of the prior Dragon Balls? Like why Vegeta wasn't on the planet when Frieza called them back, or was that something that they added?
I think I think that was kind of new because I don't recall them ever addressing that, but I mean it makes sense. I mean, of course he wasn't on the planet when it exploded, but yeah, Vegeta's already on a mission with Nappa, conquering other planets on Frieza's behalf. And Raditz is already doing missions at this point. He's older than Goku, so he's already a kid, conquering planets and everything like that. And the dope, what I want to talk about that, because I'm glad y'all brought that up. So, yeah, we did see in the movie that they mentioned Vegeta's brother for the first time. So, yeah, so Vegeta has a brother named Tarbo that I read. And that's the first time that I've ever seen him ever addressed in any series or whatever. But I remember reading about that before I saw the movie. So they do kind of, show that they do, address Tarbo, that he is a canon character, I guess. What?
They never really explained if he was alive or dead. Or...
They don't, but from what I read, he's in the manga, Tarbo is, and apparently he is alive.
Okay. So he wasn't on planet Vegeta either.
No, he's not on the planet either.
I can see like something in the future.
They might, they may not.
Frieza was fucking up, like my nigga. You really you didn't really backtrack to see exactly who was back on the planet. Like to me, out of everybody that you would want on the planet, wouldn't you want Prince Vegeta on that hoe when you blow it up? Because it's a possibility. I mean, I get you can't get everybody, but somebody like Prince Vegeta, to me, I'd be like, I need to make sure this little nigga's on this hoe. Because out of everybody that I know of, if he's the heir of the throne, I would need to make sure that this nigga's gone.
On the planet.
Right, so when I blow this bitch up, but no, he did not do that shit.
Well, Frieza didn't give a shit because Frieza really was like, I'm about to kill all of them, and if they survive, that's fine. They can keep serving me. But he was afraid of the Saiyans as a whole, I think, and then the rumor of a legendary Super Saiyan. So. He already knew at that point. He already knew who Prince Vegeta was. He was a kid at that point. Mm-hmm. Raditz is a kid. Nappa's a grown, but Nappa ain't shit. He didn't even know about Goku surviving. He didn't know anything about Broly surviving and his power. So he was just like, all right, well, these Saiyans that are already dispatched on planets, they can continue serving me, and I'm gonna lie and say that a meteor.
He lied.
Yeah, he lied and said a meteor hit planet Vegeta when in reality he destroyed it himself. So he was just like, all right, well, I can control 4 or 5 monkeys. I'm not about to deal with the whole race of them. So. Frieza, Frieza's pretty evil.
Yeah, he is, bro.
Yeah,
He is.
he's a different animal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that I think that was the very beginning part of the movie, and then if I remember correctly, Paragus finally gets to Broly, and they survive off of eating these bug creatures. To show that part, and then I think at that point they flash forward to Bardock. Bardock had just got back to Planet Vegeta and talks to Guinea, and he's like, I don't have a good feel. I don't like Frieza's spaceship is flying above the planet, but he hasn't landed. Like, that's not a good sign. So he already has an off feeling, like Frieza's on some fuck shit, like he's about to do something. And so he's like, look, I'm about to go ahead and send our son Goku, who's in his pod at the house, to Earth, and because I have a feeling like Frieza's about to try to pull something and maybe kill us all. And so he sniffed it out, because that's exactly what happened. And so he goes to fight Frieza, basically one-on-one almost with a bunch of Saiyans behind him. But there was nothing Bardock could do about this death ball that Frieza pulls and destroys him and the rest of the Saiyan race and the planet.
Right. And then the way they talked about Earth, like, I'm sending to this bullshit ass planet.
He's like this low level planet.
Yeah, we're just gonna send him there. It's called Earth. Right. They're just so behind.
Like Earth ain't shit. Like, yeah, we're gonna send him here.
He'll never find out. He was like, Frieza never go there anyway, so no worries. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Dog that shit out.
Yeah, they did kind of shit on Earth, but I mean, yeah.
They did. I don't blame them.
Which is fine, because we trash, but it's all good.
After that, it flash forwards to Broly them growing up? I mean, Broly growing up, I guess?
No, it does like the montage from once Goku pod is like in space and finally arrive on Earth. Mm-hmm. It do like the montage from Dragon Ball Z up to current day in Super.
Oh yeah, it did.
Vegeta and Goku just sparring in front of Beerus and
sure
Whis.
Did.
So
it
that's
sure
where
did.
like the story resumes.
Right.
Directly after the events of Dragon Ball Super.
Beerus over here babysitting this shit.
On the tournament power.
Yeah, Goku and Vegeta are having a friendly fade out there, like some island, far off where they can fight as much as they want to, and they realized that go I think was it Goten? No, it was Trunks that told Bulma like, hey, the Dragon Balls just got stolen.
Yeah, because they were gone and he like FaceTime.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Watch, like,
hold on, what Apple Watch is that right there that you got? That's the Apple Watch 5. Yeah.
Trunks was like,
yeah.
Like, nigga, why'd you yelling at me like that?
He's like, the Dragon Balls are gone, Chief.
They was in like old battle gear that from the Frieza Force, so that's how they kind of knew that Frieza was behind
I've seen Dad in before.
Yeah.
So that was the first time.
Of course, Frieza was up to no good as usual.
Of course, as he should be. That's how he does. So they Frieza sends 2 low-level Frieza Force people to steal the Dragon Balls, which he stole 6 of them from Bulma's office or whatever. But 2 low levels to a point where Goku or Frieza, Goku or Vegeta, neither one of them is gonna sense their energy. So that was smart about him, like because if there was somebody high level, they would pick up on him, like, oh, hey.
He's technical now. He's technical.
No, it was very smart of him to do that. Yeah. So they steal 6 of them, and then the 7th one, they steal the 6 Dragon Balls, and they steal the Dragon Radar, and so then Bulma already knows off the rip that the 7th Dragon Ball is in the a frozen area of Earth, which is basically like Antarctica,
or the North Pole.
Basically setting the scene for a badass fight as well.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like, all right, yeah, we know, we know it's in the frozen area. So they Goku and Vegeta put on their clothes or whatever, and they all get in the ship and they ride off to this area to get that 7th Dragon Ball and get the Dragon Balls back. Frieza's minions end up getting the 7th Dragon Ball, and they flash forwards to Frieza being in his ship, talking about his wish.
Everything he could have wished for.
Yeah, so Nate, tell him about that wish.
So they asking, Frieza, what could this wish possibly be? And I want to say one of them asked him, was it immortality?
Yes,
correct.
correct.
And he was like looking like, and then the other lady was like, I bet it's height, or like he wants to be taller, and he was like, oh, don't say that.
Yeah,
don't
like
say
why
that.
you just disrespecting like
He's
that?
like, actually,
about his
right.
little humor.
I wouldn't.
Toriyama
Yeah, that
effect.
was a little humor right there, and Frieza was like, actually, yeah, I want to get taller. I want to grow about 5 centimeters.
Yeah.
And they were
Make it
like,
look
5,
natural.
right, to make it look natural. Which ass nigga?
Like he's still growing.
Right, that's why I'm like, you a grown ass man. What is you talking about? But I thought that was funny too. And I think that was a weird. Would y'all say that's a weird request out of everything? Like for him to be taller?
We've seen worse
light,
wishes.
Yeah, making light out of the movie in a sense.
Okay.
Because everybody did a thing like, oh yeah, of course he wants to be eternal, but then he broke it down like that'd just be a life of misery. And then he was like, well, maybe to never take damage in a battle. He was like, what's the fun in that? So it was like, it went through the wishes that we thought he would have did, but Toriyama just throwing like just 5 centimeters.
I'm like, bro, what is that even?
Because the same thing happened with Bulma, because they were like Bulma already had 6 Dragon Balls, so they were like, why do you already have all the Dragon Balls except for 1? And she was like, oh, well, I was going to get the 7th one, but I just haven't got to it yet because I want to make myself look 5 years younger. Right. I'm like, bro, why wouldn't you just do 10 years? And they're like, I don't want to make it obvious. So essentially, Bulma and Frieza are the same person.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Dragon Balls.
does Toriyama, does he do stuff like with numbers? Like, you know how everything, sometimes like when people do stuff, everything has a meaning. So it's like the number 5, a special, would that just really something like, okay, he just wanted 5 centimeters.
If he does, I hadn't picked up on it yet.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Just one.
I think it was a few Easter eggs in what Frieza said 5, but that's like another rabbit hole that I can't get into.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about
That'll
that
be going
night.
back to Dragon Ball Z and all that, so.
Right.
Which the Frieza things was stupid because it's like his minions said, they was like, your second form is like 10 feet tall. Like, why second form? And that way you'll automatically be taller. And he was like, no, I have to have it in my base form and I have to have it in my golden form.
Right, I guess because it would be more intimidating if you see him and he's taller in his regular
5
form.
centimeters, like he's right, that's not noticeable.
Yeah, it's really not. 5 centimeters is nothing. Like, that's why I'm like, you could have said like 3 inches or something. But whatever, whatever floats your boat.
He could have definitely wore some Timbs and been taller.
Boy, them toes that he could
He could have definitely wore some alien Timbs and been 5 centimeters taller. He didn't have to steal the Dragon Balls for this. That wasn't necessary.
At all.
Yeah.
And then after he says that, it transitions to...
I think it was Chile and Lemon in the Frieza Force. They were part of the Frieza Force.
Oh, yeah.
And they're trying to find more recruits because Frieza's trying to build his army back up.
Right.
Trying to,
do all this
get
other
back
stuff.
into power.
And they stumble on Planet Vampa.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Sir.
And they stumble...
On Paragus and Broly.
Where they've been exiled for
40 years.
40-something
It's been
years.
40-something years.
like 41
So
years.
Broly basically like a 41-year-old kid.
Basically.
Because he didn't really know nothing other than his dad.
He has no social skills at all.
No social skills.
Mop.
And then, I'm done, and then Paragus, nigga, grayed out. He looked tired. He looked tired. He did. He really looked tired. Like, he had really been through it. Yeah, like he had really been through it the last 40 years. He didn't even know that Planet Vegeta was gone.
Exactly, just because they was in exile.
They had no idea.
They couldn't get back.
Yeah, they couldn't get back. So
yeah,
no communication.
Paragus still had that chip on his shoulder from basically getting stranded on Vampa because he had to go chase Broly because of King Vegeta. So he's still been having that 40-year-old grudge, not even knowing that King Vegeta's dead. Been dead for decades. And so he's harboring that hate the entire time. So once he sees the Frieza Force, he's like, oh yeah, that's our people, because he assumes that the Frieza Force is still, what it was back then and still in charge of the Saiyans or whatever, not knowing that Frieza actually killed all of them. And so they say, oh yeah, we're with the Frieza Force. So Broly ends up being friends with what's the little old man's name? I'm about to look up the names. I don't want to get nobody's.
You said Lemon?
I think it's Lemon.
Lemon and Chile.
Chile, I think. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I think.
She was bro. I want to slap the fuck out of her, bro.
She's like a new character, like.
Yeah, they're new. We've never seen them before.
Like new characters, never seen them before.
She did too fucking much. Too much.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, I know why she's like in the film, especially moving forward, knowing that it's going to be a future, as far as in Dragon Ball Super returning. So
with him,
see why
and then
I see
one
why they
at the
mechanic
end,
and
yeah.
why they brought her. Kind of jumping ahead, but you know.
Man, fuck her though. Throughout the movie, cause I'm like, boy, she
like,
if you don't call me with that, shit, man.
But she was right because I mean, Broly's dad did harbor this dude to just have pure hatred and just fight, and it's the only thing that he knew. So So she kind of had a reason to do it, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of moving kind of fast.
Right.
Chile and Limo.
Yeah,
Limo.
Chile and Limo. Okay. I'm calling them lemon.
Well, that might be. That's probably the Limo. Probably the Japanese way to say lemon.
They be keeping it simple.
Probably, yeah, exactly.
I mean, he said, Limo said he had been a part of the Force for a long time, correct? Like, even when the Saiyans were.
Yeah,
he knew exactly that as soon as he seen them, he knew they were Saiyans. Right. So he had been around for a while. He was an old, like you said, old dude too. But they end up taking them back on their spaceship.
On Frieza's
spaceship, and then taking them back to see Frieza. And Frieza's like, I thought he basically said he thought he had got. If I'm not mistaken, then he said he thought that he killed all the Saiyans. Like that was his first time seeing the Saiyan at that time, right?
He probably did, but you know he gave him that sad story. Like, well, you know, a meteor came and blew up.
Yeah, but never mind. I lied. He said because he knew that Vegeta, because he said something about Prince Vegeta being alive, and he was like, oh, I still want, you know. Paragus is like, I still want my revenge. Yeah, I want all the smoke with anybody related to King Vegeta, because I need y'all to know that y'all was some hoes.
Even though I know I can't beat Vegeta ass, but my son
right.
My son on this nigga ass.
And of course Frieza sees I wouldn't say bigger picture, but he sees the way that he can come up from having Broly on his team or whatever. He lets them go shower, he pays the two Chile and Limo for finding them, and then they go eat in the dining room. Yeah. While they're in the dining room, Broly, Broly low key spazzes out on this nigga.
Spazzes out, and that's when we first kind of
see that there's like around his neck.
And I had questions about that device. I was like, where did you get that device at? Like,
right, how did you get a remote to make it?
On this planet, you know, all these years.
He must have salvaged it from that shit.
From the spaceship, and the thing around Broly's neck was actually like electron. I was like a taser. Yeah, it's almost like it tased him to calm him down, because that was the only way. It was the only way to calm him down, to keep him from going there. Because I'm assuming that obviously Paragus has seen Broly go pretty bad. I mean, he had to go crazy, which was why he did that. Yeah,
he can't come to his senses.
So I have to do something to bring him down.
Out, go Hulk and everything. It's just
right. There's nothing you can do unless you do that. Old girl gets upset by seeing that and starts trying to, basically she tried to call Paragus out, which I'm like, bitch, you need to stay in your place anyway.
I'm fucking done with that.
She was, bro. I'm like, okay, my nigga, like, you seen this nigga was finna, like, tear this nigga up. Like, that was the only thing that kept him from beating this nigga ass.
You have to think about it. You in this spaceship with this dude that you just took that remote for that collar, so this dude go crazy.
And when y'all looked at the thing, y'all seen that his power levels were off the charts. Literally, you couldn't read it. So why would you not think that, like, maybe this is helpful? The bitch steals the remote out of Paragus' damn fanny pack.
They did not like this.
No, she pissed me off. Took the damn remote out of his fanny pack, and I think she stepped on that whole end, didn't she?
No, she destroyed
She crushed it, and then it flashes to like the next scene, and it's like Broly limo in Chile, sitting there. They give him water. He never had water before. I don't know
That's
how this
crazy to think
nigga
about.
fucking survived. Well, I guess because he's a Saiyan. He's
I
not
guess.
human. Because I'm like, how the fuck did you?
I guess there's some water in the bug juices or something.
Boy,
Extra protein. That's why that nigga was.
right, and then right like that, and then he explained. He actually had a conversation with them about his first and only friend that his dad like fucked off and cut his ear off.
Which was a monster. Yeah, it was one of the monsters on that planet, which was like essentially they were like a big like ferret looking thing or some kind of
like
fox
snake,
or something.
like a
Yeah.
snake
Yeah, he
ferret.
called him Bob because the noise he made.
Yeah,
Yeah, Bob.
But them niggas really got cool. Like they really had a connection. Like he was hugging that nigga and stuff, and playing with him.
And his dad didn't like that and shot the ear off of the beast. Yeah, basically
and he wore it around
Bob.
his waist.
And so that was the green fur that you see around Broly's waist the entire movie.
Which I thought that was a little cute,
And that was
sad story.
coming from the non-canon story of Broly
Mm-hmm.
to this movie. That was the part that really got me because this is the first time you really heard Broly ever like talk and just have like a express something. Like in the old movie, it was just it was none of that. So that
It was just Kakarot and Fate on sight.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the magic of Toriyama. Just let me do this Broly story.
Let me give him some background or like
Exactly.
have some
Because
substance.
if you're gonna make him canon, we gotta give him that origin, that backstory.
Yeah.
We gotta build him up, and that's why Chile and Lemon is with him to move him forward in the franchise. So
Right, which makes sense. So I guess during this time, after they flash, we flash forward to what, Frieza, or we flash forward back to Vegeta now.
I think at that time that's when Frieza's minions
Come back with the
gathered
set-
seventh
with the-
Dragon Ball, and they phoned in to the boss, and he pulled up the Earth
Real quick.
Quick.
Yeah,
Cause I got all 7 of them to pull up.
Right.
But he made I think a deal with Paragus to see Broly in action, and basically kind of use Paragus' revenge and hateful, manner towards getting revenge on Vegeta. So
Right.
Frieza saw that opportunity, like, you take care of Vegeta, your son take care of Vegeta, but leave Goku for
To me,
because they
I
still-
want the smoke with him.
They still got some past beef from Namek and Resurrection F and stuff like that.
Right, right. So that's when they come off the spaceship and see each other, and Goku being Goku, asking questions and shit. He's so
Goku
daggone
never
goofy.
changes, like,
He's
just
so
the
daggone goofy.
the goofiness and just not really
consistent,
going,
yeah.
just really just going with it. That's Goku for you.
Right. And he stayed the same. That nigga stays the same. I don't know. Broly, basically, he told, like, Broly, let's go. But Paragus is just like,
Yeah,
Okay.
Frieza gives Paragus like, hey, I know you want to get your revenge, so King Vegeta's son is still living, and he's living on this planet named Earth. You can get your revenge on his son. The only deal I have is that you have to leave Goku alone. That's mine. I want his blood on my hands, so we can see, what kind of warrior Broly is. So they go to Earth, get the Dragon Balls, and Frieza has Goku. Frieza has Broly and Paragus come out, and Paragus sends Broly into attack, and Vegeta and Broly go head to head first, and that fight scene was nuts.
it was.
Crazy.
It was. I swear that whole. What'd you say, about 30 minutes of straight
30.
fighting?
Like, it was like
Damn
the
near.
origin, the backstory, and then it's when Broly appears on Earth.
And that was
straight on
it.
sight.
And Broly, like,
Fighting
immediately,
the
it was
whole
just
movie.
like, boom, bro. Like, he just.
Couldn't really contain himself. Like, you can see it in his face. Like, when he came off the ship, like, his energy, like, kind of like
Right.
breeze past Goku and Vegeta. Like, the hell's going on?
Like, really. And, like you said, the fight scene was crazy. I don't know if you guys want to talk about the fight scene in detail, because I just know when he, like you said, his pupils dilated or went away, this nigga was like.
Yeah, I mean the dope thing about this Broly character is, like, we see him go, like, at first, he fights Vegeta, and Vegeta's in his base form, and Broly's in his base form, and Vegeta's giving it to him like he has way more experience than Broly, but
Broly
during the fight he's picking up. He's literally picking up like, oh, okay.
Broly never fought somebody of that caliber.
Yeah.
He sparred with his dad, but like Frieza said, like, well,
you ain't shit, basically.
That's meaningless, like,
right.
For him to be fighting you.
He's literally getting stronger throughout the fight. So then, I think first transformation, Vegeta goes Super Saiyan, and he gets the upper hand again for a little while. Then Broly just ups his game even more. Doesn't transform or nothing, but just ups his game even more and start giving Vegeta problems. And Vegeta's like, all right, fuck it. So this is the first time, which was important, that we see Vegeta go Super Saiyan God, the first form of Super Saiyan God, Red, and that's the first time we ever see it.
Something that they didn't show like in the series.
No.
But because when we saw him in the series, it was just from Super Saiyan to
to
Super
blue.
Saiyan blue.
Yeah.
So like him having this God aura and being red, it was like this was something to be
Yeah, it was a big deal because that was the first time we saw that, and I will say it looked better on Vegeta than it does on Goku. Like it looked,
was like,
it's nuts.
It was so smooth, like it was crazy. But kind of going back a little bit, and we talked about this, but when Vegeta first turned Super Saiyan, and when it flashed green for us,
yeah, it did flash green for a second.
Flashed green and his hair flashed green, but eventually he turned into a Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of like new to me too.
Yeah,
I never seen like the green come out.
I feel like they were teasing
something.
I don't know what it was. I feel like there was that was significant, but I don't know anything. So
the original Saiyan is like the yellow hair with the green eyes.
Yeah.
Like, just for the movie's sake.
Maybe it was because the colors they did in this movie were nuts. Like they literally pulled out that 64 count Crayola box and used every single color that they could. Like it was on point.
It was crazy. I mean, eventually he started. Didn't Goku jump in? I mean, I feel like.
Well, yeah. So yeah, he goes Super Saiyan guy, and then eventually he's like, well, shit. So he goes Super Saiyan Blue, and Broly's still holding his own against a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and so he starts getting his ass whooped for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, shit.
And that's when Frieza looked over to Paragus and was like, oh, your son can't turn Super Saiyan? Like, what is this? What's going on?
Yeah.
And Frieza asked Paragus, like, is this it? Is this fight over?
Well, see, now I'm sorry to cut you off, but that makes me remember.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know. Paragus thought the rumor of the Super Saiyan, of somebody going Super Saiyan, wasn't real. Remember?
Yeah, because they didn't know. They haven't been around.
He was
yeah.
surprised when he seen it. He was like, "The hell going on?"
Yeah, like, what is that?
When Frieza asked him, he like, "Shit, I don't fucking know."
Your son can't do this.
And he was like, "Shit, I didn't know." He was like, "I didn't know that this was a real thing."
So Frieza was like, "Oh well, this fight about to be over in a little bit because Broly doesn't even know how to transform." And mind you, Goku and Vegeta are both Super Saiyan Blue level. So he was like, "Oh, if your son can't go Super Saiyan, this fight's about to be over in a little bit." Yeah, but Broly's still in base. Like he's beating Vegeta's ass low key, while Vegeta's in Super Saiyan Blue, which is nuts. And he hasn't transformed not once. I think at that point when Vegeta goes Super Saiyan Blue, he does do a minor transformation to like his elevated base form. Like his muscles get a little bit bigger. I think he wasn't completely berserk yet. His pupils actually, what they did? He did his pupils went like a that yellow color, and then like with the black they were yellow irises with the black pupil, and you can kind of tell like that was something that he wasn't doing his regular form, because his pupils weren't just regular yellow throughout the movie. So yeah, he went to some kind of form, but it wasn't like a Super Saiyan transformation. It was kind of like his next whatever level you want to call it.
Paragus was about to call off the fight, so
yeah.
he was about to reach and
for his
get the chakra to kind kind of
Little
But
remote.
goddamn, when he went and reached in his fucking fanny pack,
Oh,
that
shit,
bitch was
go Nate.
gone. I wonder the fuck why. And then her little raggedy ass was standing there all thottish and stuff.
I'm
Y'all
fucking
didn't see how
done
she
with
had
Nate.
her back arched when she was watching the fight from the window?
Yeah, I mean, you know, she was a little hot in the pants.
Yeah, she was. I want to slap. Y'all just don't know how upset
I'm
she
done
made
with
me
Nate.
because she's the reason why that shit escalated.
Yeah,
Because if he would have had the remote, he would.
control,
and then
he
the
would
shit-
have went to that other level to.
And it just would have been like, okay, y'all lost, and then they.
been over with.
Yeah, it would have been no, but like she the reason why that shit escalated like that. Like it really was. And then Frieza was at like shit. Okay, so
Maybe this is not his limit, you know. Maybe
Right.
He can go
a little more.
Because he kind of
Yeah.
he powered up, and Vegeta was like, "The hell is going on?" And
Yeah, so because the next transition was Vegeta's getting his ass whooped, so then Goku steps in and was like, all right, it's my turn.
it's my turn. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, and so he does his little warm up and everything, and Goku goes out and fights him.
Goku do a warm-up.
Yeah, I've never seen him. I've seen him stretch a little bit, but he was like jogging in place and shit.
Yeah, I'm like, damn.
And
Goku's
his
on.
jacket was cool. Like he threw his jacket on.
Yeah.
For like anime effects and stuff.
Yeah, no, that was dope because yeah, Goku, you know, warmed up and everything. I don't know why Goku saw Vegeta fighting in blue and getting his ass whooped, but Goku went out there in his base form like, and he did, yeah.
That's Goku though. Like
Yeah.
Goku, he just try to see how
He touched the waters
He
a
get
lot.
a feel for you. Like it's like, all right, I'm gonna go regular, then I'm gonna turn it up to Super Saiyan 2. He skip over Super Saiyan now.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, he went Super Saiyan 2, and then he went red, and then he went blue. He starts getting his ass whooped. And so it was just like, the best thing, hold on.
I'm just gonna say.
His ass whooped in red that much.
No, not that
he
much.
did some move that I never seen him do. It was like a fucking containment move. Like he just stopped.
Yeah.
Dialogue between Goku and Broly was very important, like as far as going forward in the
Mm-hmm.
series, because Goku was like, I know you're not a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you're very strong basically, but it's like you don't have to listen to your dad and
Mm-hmm.
everything. But Broly's raging out like you can't.
He
Nobody
can't
can
control
him right
himself.
But the thing about that fight scene, what was dope about this movie, which probably was my favorite part of the movie, is that's because when we saw that first person view, like we basically saw Broly's first person view of fighting Goku, and that was, I've never seen that before happen, where they go first person view and it's like a damn near a video game almost.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like that's like the movie budget. Like as far as the
Oh, yeah.
animation was crazy because
No, they dropped stacks on that
it
scene.
was spectacular. I'm not even gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
just fast paced, fast moving, and
Mm-hmm.
just A+ for me when it comes to
There wasn't no charging up for 10 episodes. No, this was on site. They was on site the entire movie. Like,
And after that, Frieza hoe ass shoots Paragus because he wants to see how far Broly can get at this
Yeah.
point. And so he tells Broly that a stray beam hit Paragus.
A stray-
That was the
Energy blast, yeah.
coming back into play, like right there.
Right.
How Frieza did that. So.
yeah.
Hoe ass shit. And then Broly just, that was it.
Yeah.
He just, he
I think
lost
that's when the
even.
peoples left. And
Is that when, yeah.
Yeah, I think he goes berserk and goes
Not
into his
Super
full.
Saiyan, he goes berserk.
Yeah, he goes into his berserk Super
That's how
Saiyan
he
form.
just in Dragon Ball. It's like the more like your shirt ripped off and
Mm-hmm.
just off and nigga just.
And Broly was
raging
getting
out,
big.
He definitely got swollen.
He
that's
got
how
bigger
I-
and swoller too
Yeah.
every time.
That
I'm
was
like, damn, this
like
nigga big.
the non-canon Broly, like just basically just
Yeah.
just super swole and just berserk too. So that was like a homage to that. So
Okay.
they kind of kept that true.
That's cool. See, that's really good that to a certain extent they kept.
They kept certain things true.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of that trash story that they had in the original.
The non-canon one.
Yeah, the non-canon one.
Yeah.
Got rid of that story and had the backstory and it's just a different Broly. You can tell
Right.
they got to do something with him.
With them. That makes sense.
So
So I guess y'all could keep going about that fight scene because y'all know, like, I watched it, but I like you guys can explain the detail a little bit more than I can because I would.
well, at the time once Broly reached that berserk level and his pupils were pretty much gone, nobody can control Broly. He don't even know who he's fighting at this point. He's just raging.
He
out.
fighting everybody.
He's fighting everybody. So Goku and Vegeta realized like, hey, we can't beat this dude on our own. So that was something big in the anime too, because in the movie, because it's like Goku and Vegeta working together to try to beat him, but still like Broly was a beast, basically.
Right, he was,
Control,
and that's when
so-
they did the fusing. They were they went to Piccolo.
Yeah,
and
but first they had to kind of get Broly off their trail, so they kind of flew by Frieza.
Right, and then he started
Broly,
whooping
like,
Frieza.
appeared and just started whooping Frieza's ass, and everybody kind of like cheered in him.
That was
Right, everybody was like,
funny, yeah.
yes, because nigga, little do you know the nigga killed your daddy, so good,
Yeah.
good, keep beating this nigga ass.
why they-
And it must have took them, what, y'all say it took them like an hour and a half to do that shit?
That,
like
that,
2 hours?
yeah,
They had to recharge
I
themselves.
definitely want to address that. Yeah, before we jump to that part real quick. So I was looking it up because I wanted to know the exact name. So the first Broly level where he was fighting and his eyes turned yellow, but his hair still black and everything, that's called the Wrath State. So that's what they call it on that. And then the next level up is the Super Saiyan Broly. And then the last level, which is, we'll get to that in a minute, is a legendary Super Saiyan. So there was basically 3 different states that he had in that movie, from the transitions of power. And the Wrath State was giving all these niggas problems off the jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, before he even went Super
Space
Saiyan.
Level was competing with like Goku and Vegeta's god.
Facts.
So you already knew this dude was a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to get to that real quick. So let's get back. This is probably one of the most exciting parts of the movie as well. So Piccolo, was like, yeah, y'all need any help, and he was like, yeah, I might need some help to Goku. And so Goku, after they both were getting their ass beat, Super Saiyan. Matter of fact, yeah. So we didn't get to that part. So yeah, Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta and Goku were fighting Broly, and there was nothing these niggas could do. Yeah, they're at the same time. There was nothing these niggas could do with Broly. He was still whooping their
He
ass.
created the version and got Broly on Frieza's tail.
Yeah,
So,
and so yeah, they basically baited Broly right into Frieza to where, and then they instant transmission up out of there. So basically, Frieza had to fight Broly, and Frieza was getting his ass whooped.
for an hour and a half.
And that's the dope thing about it, yeah. So they were trying to get back to the fight as soon as they could, but they were fucking up. So they went. So at this point, this is the first time that we see the canon version. Of course, we seen Gogeta in the movie, which is non-canon, where he fought Janemba. But this is the first time that they introduced the fusion dance to Vegeta. So Piccolo already knows it. Goku already knows it. from Dragon Ball Z during the Buu saga. So
Boy, that shit right there, that
Yeah.
shit is so cheap. Talking about trash.
yeah.
That nigga was like, boy, hell no, I'm not doing it. Than to do this shit.
Vegeta was basically
Boy,
like, yeah,
that shit, that
if
little-
I gotta do this stupid ass dance, I rather just die. He wasn't having it at all.
At all. That hoe was funny though. That
Goku had to mention his wife and daughter in order for him to be like, all right, bro, I guess we can.
we can try it, and they had to be precise when they their fingers touched, which is why it took them an hour and a half to do it. Because every time they did and they fucked up, they had to stay in that and then do it again. They got fat.
Yeah, so the fusion dance lasts 30 minutes, and so yeah, the first time they did it, Vegeta messed up like his finger or something like that, and so they turned into a fat Gogeta.
It's actually a name for the fat one.
Is it different
I think
from?
it's Veku or something like that.
Oh, for real?
I think don't.
It's awful.
And it looked awful. I mean, they looked awful as hell.
But then they had to wait 30 minutes after that and try again.
And then they were
And at the
skinny.
same time, I'm in the movie theater. Like, so Frieza getting his ass
Beat
work for
an hour and a half. This nigga get his ass beat against.
Yeah.
And at this point, Antarctica ain't even snow and ice no more. That shit was like brown and
Yeah, 'cause
lava
they
looking. They had fucked it
fucked up all the
so
sun.
bad.
I mean, all the.
It was the perfect fireplace for that it was going to just drag that.
Right, and
that
fuck
whole-
it
That
up.
whole landscape.
Exactly. And so finally, they do get into their Gogeta form.
Yeah.
And they go back and they're able, Frieza was still, looking crazy, getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, Frieza was done for it. I don't know. I really don't know how he survived that long.
I don't either
What was
though, real
cool
honestly.
Before Gogeta started fighting Broly, it showed a brief instance where Broly didn't know he was attacking, but he swung at Whis, and Whis was just dodging.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want to talk about. Yeah,
That
yeah.
right there
Whis
shows-
wasn't. Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
That-
Basically showed how he was the strongest.
Right, I was just piggybacking off that. Like I watching Super, like I said, I kind of watched everything backwards, and I know Whis trained Beerus, but I didn't know he was that
That cold,
like he literally was like whoop,
effortless.
Oop, nigga, no. Like, damn, couldn't wait for y'all to get back. Basically, he was like, that nigga, and he's so, look at this nigga. Like, we actually got super on right now, y'all. So, look, this nigga drinking tea and shit, just happy. He is so cold-blooded.
That he was, like, the coldest person in that universe. Like,
right.
So.
Right, and Beard, he was babysitting this nigga and fucking, I don't know.
I think they did that for a reason because
they didn't want Beerus a part of that because
right. He would have just immediately got mad.
Beerus would have got rid of Broly out of here probably fairly easy.
Right.
I think Broly would have gave maybe a little bit of problems, but
that's what Goku was saying. Like, you're real strong. Like, you possibly might be even stronger than Beerus.
I don't know. It's tough.
It was. I mean, it's tough to say that, but I mean, this dude was handling like them in his base form when they was at God.
He sure can't hit. I think they fuck him up.
It's hard because
there's other levels to Beerus.
We've only seen Beerus really fight one time really,
and not really,
and he wasn't really trying then, but he made it look like he was trying, but he really wasn't. So it's kind of hard to gauge Beerus's power, like how strong he really is.
That nigga was babysitting though.
Yeah.
I did that to kind of get him out.
Get him out the picture.
Get him out the picture, pretty much.
Right.
And side note, I'm kind of salty they didn't have Gohan in this movie at all. Like, not even like a cameo. Like,
man,
like
fuck Gohan.
Somebody's energy or something. Like, I know he wasn't gonna do
that
it.
Nigga was over there babysitting.
Great Saiyan man wasn't gonna do a motherfucking thing.
He was probably reading a book and.
Well, no. Well, after you know.
That's true.
After
That's
the
stupid.
tournament, he said he wanted to get back to training because never know when you might be fighting for your universe. So maybe it's a different Gohan moving forward, but that's just me being a fanboy of Gohan. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Gohan's a whole different ball game.
I just feel like
he's still not up there like where he should be because I mean Vegeta's still stronger than Gohan. Goku's still stronger.
Because there was a point where Gohan.
Yeah. Mystic Gohan is a different animal.
I'm not even talking about that Gohan. I'm talking.
Oh, you talking about Super Saiyan 2?
Super Saiyan 2 when he got rid of Cell.
Yeah.
So that Gohan was stronger than Vegeta.
And the thing about Gohan is, Gohan has that same like crazy potential like Broly had as a kid, where he was a lot more powerful than he should have been.
Like it was like a rage, but his was like more control.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And he received love and stuff.
Yeah, Chi-Chi got him soft.
Yeah, as tissue.
Yeah.
As tissue. But back.
Back to the movie.
I'll let y'all tell about the Gogeta fight. I'll let y'all explain the Gogeta fight, cause.
The Gogeta fight, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, TJ.
So basically, once we see Broly taking shots at Whis, that's when Gogeta appears and say he got it from here, and that's when like pretty much the real fight happens. I say.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, and I was in the movie theater in awe, like just at the animation of when they finally started fighting. Like I was like kind of tripping out how good it was, but the actual fight was pretty epic, and it was going to pretty much different dimensions. Like it got to a point where they was just too freaking strong and just breaking through dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
That was a crazy fight.
It was crazy. And I didn't realize, I mean, you probably couldn't count it, but did y'all count how many dimensions they actually broke through? Does it look like?
It seemed like they broke into one dimension and was fighting in there for a little bit. Even Gogeta was like, what the heck? Like, he didn't even know what the hell was going on.
Right.
That's how hard they was fighting, and that's how much the anime was trying to show you, like, this is what's going on. This is how powerful they are. So once they broke back out of that dimension, like, it seemed like it went from Antarctica to Arizona. It was like the desert.
Yeah, it was the desert.
It was crazy. It was like, what the hell? So that was kind of trippy.
Yeah, that was crazy. We've never seen like interdimensional during a fight, especially like that was a crazy part about that.
It was the same spot once they came back because everybody was still out there. So they just fight so hard that they melted the snow and just changed the landscape.
I don't know.
That's what
it was. I've never seen that before.
So I mean, going to kind of show that towards the end of the fight, I mean they still fighting, and the Thought comes out with Limo.
He had a plan to save Broly.
Right. Chile, and they come out with the Dragon Balls, which messed it, boy.
Well, yeah, well, before that part, because they were trying to save Broly because they could see how the fight was going. So
And they were like,
Gogeta was fighting in his base form. Then he went Super Saiyan. Then he eventually went Super Saiyan Blue. And at that point, where Gogeta was Super Saiyan Blue, so that what they said was, whenever they finally did the fusion dance and they fused, it wasn't like they combined powers. It's more so like their powers were multiplied, against each other. So he wasn't. He was a lot stronger than just a combination of them two. Yeah.
He started kind of handling, the fight.
Right. So he got so strong. So when he went Super Saiyan Blue, he was so strong to a point where Broly couldn't do shit. Like he was beating Broly's ass to the point where he was about to get him up out of here. And then he did his signature Gogeta move, which I believe is called like Stardust Breaker or something like that.
I seen that with like the colorful.
Exactly. So
the one he killed.
Janemba.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the exact same movie that he killed Janemba on in the non-canon movie, and that was like the almost the end of Broly. Like he almost got him up out of here permanently. And so Chile and Limo, thought quick, and they ended up hijacking the Dragon Balls from one of Frieza's minions or whatever, and steal the wish basically. And so at the very last second before Gogeta got Broly the fuck up out of here, they wished Broly to go back to the planet that he was raised on, which was planet Vampa, and basically saved his life. Instead of Gogeta was about to end him because there was no other choice because Broly wasn't going to stop fighting
until he was dead.
Yeah,
Right.
like he was going to keep going until he was just going to keep going. Shit.
Yeah, he was, and so he disappears, and everybody's kind of like
what the hell just happened?
right, confused.
Yeah.
And then Frieza, he
saw
back
saw
on.
Chile,
He was kind of
Chile and Lemon trying to escape after he seen
Right.
the wish.
Mm-hmm.
Take
on
the wish
his,
that
he wanted.
Yeah, to make him taller. It was stupid
Out
ass.
the sky, and then Gogeta appeared, and kind of like, what you doing here? And he stopped.
Right. And
Yeah.
He knew he didn't want that smoke.
He didn't want that smoke.
He definitely
at
didn't
all.
want that smoke at all.
So he went ahead and he dipped out.
He's like, all right, I'll let him make it this time. And so they dip out and go to Planet Vampa where Broly is. And they're like, oh well, shit. If we stay here with Broly, then he'll protect us, and we don't have to worry about Frieza trying to kill us. Yeah,
Right. But
exactly.
when they get there, they realize this nigga ain't got shit.
It's like they can't survive.
Yeah,
Off of-
they were about to start eating bug juice themselves.
I never got it. Like, they couldn't take him and go to another planet that was.
Probably because they couldn't control.
That's what I thought, but it's
Well, really and truly, you don't want to have Broly at another planet where somebody could.
With them seeing how he was, see, prior to that, let's just say hypothetically, if they would have took him and ran off when he got into it with the dude in the lunchroom or whatever,
he would have destroyed everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody would have been able to stop him.
Stop him. They wouldn't.
It
And they
be
wouldn't have
shit
known.
they could do.
They wouldn't have known. But them seeing
Yeah.
what the potential, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, this is his best bet because, like you said, there's
Staying
nothing he
isolated.
can do. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why Frieza made the comment he didn't really pursue because he was like, I'm gonna give them a chance to domesticate Broly, bring him to his senses,
Yep.
and that he's gonna try to recruit him later into his Frieza force.
Into the
Which I don't
Frieza
see how
force.
that would go, but
Right.
it just set it up for questions. For,
It did.
What's going on?
And then
Exactly.
we see, then boom, Goku.
Yeah. And I like that they kept Broly alive, unlike the other movies. So yeah, I mean basically the way the movie ends is Goku instant transmissions to Planet Vampa and was like, hey, I got this friend named Bulma. She's really smart. We got some capsules for you. And mind you, while he's there, Chile's treating Goku like shit, like he's the bad guy. And
Bitch, it's your fault. She made me.
they hate Chile the way I hate Gohan.
Chill.
Hey man, I have.
Bring him back to glory.
I hope so, man, because that nigga Gohan was. I ain't gonna go there anyway. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so he goes there and shows up. So he gives them capsules, which one of the capsules is like a house that they all got their own room. They can live like a normal lifestyle instead of living in a cave. And then a bunch of I think the two other capsules was like food and other resources,
And then
basically.
maybe he gave him one to recover, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he gave him 2 sensu beans,
Yeah,
some sensu beans. Yeah, just in case if they ever need them. you know, if they ever get hurt really, really bad. So, and Goku basically was like, yeah, you know, you're pretty strong and you inspired me because I thought that I wasn't going to ever get any stronger. But, you know, fighting you, it shows that, you know, I could get a lot stronger than I am right now, which was kind of dope.
Right.
What, TJ?
Oh, no. Now, that was, like I said, that was a key part, too, as far as moving forward in the series. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever want to work out.
I don't know if Broly's going to be a Z fighter and, you know, join them in the
Absolutely
future.
not.
But knowing that Goku's gonna be training with him and probably bringing him to his senses and controlling his power, that's like scary for the future. Like,
oh yeah, for
like,
sure.
You know, potential wise, like if he get that in control and don't go Hulk on people to the point where he's just gonna go until he's either dead or just destroyed everything.
Right.
Like, so that was key. Like, maybe the training will bring him.
See, I'm wondering, like, with him by himself, and that's how the movie ends, y'all. You know, Goku goes back, and they're asking him how he even got there. Like you said, he just
instant transmission.
We was talking earlier, like I never heard Goku refer to himself as Kakarot.
Yeah. That was also dope because Goku, like TJ said, has never referred to himself as Kakarot. And he basically tells Broly like, yeah, my name is Goku, but you can call me Kakarot.
Yeah,
which was dope.
Maybe, and I wonder if that symbolize. I mean, like you said, he's never did that before, but is that symbolizing
maybe
something?
Goku
Him
coming to his
his
like,
saying.
Okay, this more to the Saiyan stuff.
Right.
I thought I was pretty good, but this dude come out of nowhere and just this strong. So it's like, okay, let me kind of embrace this a little bit more.
Right. I think it's crazy that Vegeta didn't know anything about Broly though. I guess he didn't have a chance to. Yeah, he was. Yeah, but I guess he never mentioned. I mean, his dad never mentioned. I guess you don't, but
he sent him off like when he was really, really young. Right. So Vegeta really didn't care about low class warriors, supposedly low class warriors, and no shit like that. So. He never even knew Broly existed from childhood on up. So
right, and that was how it ended. I really enjoyed Broly. I would go see it again.
Yeah, that was
I'm definitely gonna go see it again.
Yeah, I feel like I missed some stuff.
Second watch.
And you already.
Yeah, you've seen it twice. Yeah, TJ
really.
So.
Yeah, I definitely gotta go. I'm tripping before it because I know it's not gonna be in theaters that long. So
yeah.
Yeah, I might have to go see it this weekend because that movie was amazing.
It's been cleaning up though at the box office, like 7 million in the first day. I'm not sure where it's at right now.
Last time I saw, I think it was like at 30 something.
30 million.
Which is really good.
Yeah,
really,
which is
really
crazy
good.
for an anime movie.
And that's just US, right? That's just
it. I don't know. I don't know if it's US or worldwide.
Or it's November sometime. Like all the the other markets. As far as the dubs are coming a little bit slower.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, I need to find a good copy of Broly on Cody because
goodbye.
I'm about to be in this bad boy watching.
I mean, we did pay for the first watch.
Yeah,
we did pay for the first watch.
You did, but I need it again. Run it back.
Right. But if you guys are listening and you have like any comments that you had about the movie, you can hit us up on Twitter at Blanime Podcast. Our individual names. Mike's is Unbotherable.
Yeah, with a 1 instead of an L.
And mine is, I always fuck my name up.
Sanae
underscore.
Yeah.
SENAE underscore.
TJ, where can we find you at, bro?
I'm off radar, but if you want to catch me.
Yeah, he's off
radar.
I'm on the radar. They're not going to sense my power. But no, I'm on Snapchat, Terrace23, TERRACE 23. You can catch me there.
There we go. Yeah, we're gonna have TJ again on another episode. TJ's gonna be our regular reoccurring guest. Whether he's on the pod or whether he just pulls up just chill, just kick it. Yeah.
And we're gonna add him to the Facebook group too, Blanime.
Yeah, we're gonna add TJ to the group.
Y'all can add yourself to Blanime too. If you're interested.
Yes. Add us on Facebook at. Blanime Don't Eat the Cake Anime on Facebook, so you can join the group.
Right.
And
you can join our weekly anime
watch party.
Right on Rabbit. Yeah. You can find the group on Rabbit.
So.
Yeah, you can find us on Rabbit at Blanime Podcast.
Like these reviews.
Oh yeah, doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lit. I don't even know what we're gonna talk about next week. Cause we had anticipate. We was like, nigga, Broly is like it. That's all.
I know exactly what we're gonna talk about next week, but yeah, we'll talk about that after the show. But yeah,
y'all ain't gonna hear it, so y'all just gonna be surprised.
it's all good. Yeah, no, I know exactly what we're gonna talk about.
Glad I was a part of this.
Yeah. Thank you,
coming.
TJ, for pulling up, bro. Because we needed you a part of this one since you saw the movie with us.
Seen it with us, so you know what I'm saying.
Especially with Dragon Ball hitting close to home, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So.
Facts.
The dialogue was great because I know y'all probably paid a little more attention than I did. I watched it, but I didn't take in as much as y'all did, if that makes sense, because it's something that y'all have watched all the way through. As for me, I haven't watched it all the way through. So like I said, I was watching, but I didn't comprehend. You know, it was some stuff that definitely probably went over my head that y'all elaborated on tonight. So definitely enjoyed it.
Just keep on watching Super and you'll catch up.
Yeah. Nate's gonna finish Super eventually, and she gonna really like when she finishes Super, then she's gonna watch Broly again probably at that point, and then she gonna be like, oh shit, I ain't even think about that the last time. Yeah, like I peep this now. So yeah, it's watching it from a different lens when you've seen everything leading up to that point.
And knowing that it is confirmed that they moving forward with the whole series.
God, yes.
So that'll be something dope to talk about. So
yes.
Future's looking good for them.
It is looking good.
Like back intact.
It is. It really is.
Rebrand.
Definitely. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. We will be back next week, regular time. You can get us on iTunes, in the podcast app on iTunes. You can get us on SoundCloud. You can get us on Spotify. Just search Blanime. You can get us on Anchor. You can get us on Breaker. You can get us on Google Play.
You can get us basically everywhere.
Damn near everywhere. I'm literally trying to upload us on every single one. So whatever your listening pleasure is, you can find us. But yeah, just search Blanime and we're probably there. But yeah, thank you guys again, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Peace out.